And hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 45 of the Sports Blitz. Happy to be back at you. As always, I'm Robbie. Doug is here. Doug, how are you tonight, man?
Doing well, man. Doing well. Came out of the cave for a while. Crawled out under the rock, from under the rock, and I'm back.
You're back.
Back after last week.
There you go.
No, doing really well, Robbie. Very
Good.
excited about tonight's
Good.
episode. We're going to talk sports.
I know. Some actual sports news talk. By the way, speaking of last week, we really hope you guys enjoyed our episode last week with Jamie Rice joining us again. Very appreciative of him joining us, taking the time to join us. It was honestly, I think you would agree, Doug, the funnest episode we've recorded so far in the first 45 episodes of the Sports Blitz. It was incredible. It really was.
Just unbelievable, Robbie. I know it's a long episode for people to see, but I'll tell you, it was fabulous. We thank Jamie so much for coming on. We're definitely going to have him on again because it's just he was a great guest. Not only that, he was very outgoing with everything, just like we talked about in pregame today. He was very, very forthright with all the Rivers stuff, and he was also, very honest about his feelings when it comes to college hockey and Babson hockey too, which is really great, and I love that. Sometimes people kind of they're like, "Oh, wait a minute, they're interviewing me,"
the political answer.
Yeah, absolutely. The political answer or an answer that maybe I should say this. He didn't do that. And It was awesome. Yeah. He was honest. He was forthright, and just a great guest. And we got a really, really, and I got to tell you this, guys, Robbie got a really great email. Ed Schreider. Ed Schreider is the latest, I guess you could say, within the last how many years he's been the director?
I think he was the director for like the last 4 years, somewhere around at least last like 3 or 4 years of camp. He was
and he actually told us. Yeah, he actually told us in the email that that this year right here would have been his 50th year at Rivers Camp, which is amazing. Just totally amazing. So we're actually, don't tell anybody. We'll see. We have a few connections, but we'll see. We'll see if we can have them on. But we're going to have more Rivers episodes.
Rivers guests too.
Yeah, we're going to have Rivers guests too, and we're going to have we're starting this guest thing, and it's really working out for us. So we're definitely going to do that.
So far, so good. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So thank you very much for last week. I hope everybody enjoyed it. And now it's time for this week, Robbie. What do we got?
Yeah, so we're going to kick things right off, and I use that term somewhat in a pun fashion because we're going to start off with the New England Patriots. Yes, kickoff time. Kickoff time, 8:22 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Hey, that's the time that the Super Bowl really happens, isn't it? Oh, no, that's 6:22. Never mind.
Yeah. Sunday night football.
Sunday night football. Yeah, right. Yes, Sunday night football, right?
Yeah. So we are going to get things started by talking a little Patriots because there was some big Patriots news within the last 48 hours. I know, right? Sports news? What? Breaking sports news? What?
No, there was not any breaking sports. Was there?
Oh, yes, I believe that there was because the Patriots made a little splash,
transaction,
a little splash in the free agency market. Yes, they signed a 1-year contract with, drumroll please, Cam Newton. That's right, the Cam Newton, former NFL MVP, Super Bowl quarterback, former Heisman Trophy winner at Auburn, the Superman himself, Cam Newton.
And this would be good for Kyle because he's actually Superman, so that would be really cool.
Yes, exactly. So Kyle, if you're watching this, you're welcome.
That was a Kyle plug right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
He owes me for that one. I'm going to start charging.
Royalties.
Right.
Check's in the mail. The check is in the mail.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Sure it is.
Yeah. But listen, I'm going to say right up front, Doug, I love this move. I love it with 100% of my being. This is Bill Belichick, as we were talking about before we came on air, pulling a rabbit out of a hat, and it's awesome. I mean, listen, I understand, basically everybody had sort of resigned themselves, or whatever you want to call it, to the fact that Jarrett Stidham was probably going to be the starting quarterback. But Bill Belichick, sort of the gears keep grinding, things sort of behind the scenes stay in motion, and he makes this happen and is able to get Cam Newton, again, a former MVP, played in a Super Bowl for 1 year, $1 million guaranteed, with a lot of incentives. So basically, for the veteran minimum, he's able to pick up a proven, successful starting quarterback. And I think it's great. I think that it's going to provide a much more exciting training camp in terms of, competition for the starting job. And if Cam Newton could play even up to, 75% of what he's been in the past, I think it helps the Patriots' prospects in terms of the AFC East, in terms of the AFC in general, so much having him on their roster. And I think it just provides a lot more sort of ways that you can run that offense and have success with that offense. And so, like I said, I love the signing. I can't believe Bill pulled it off after kind of the talks about Newton coming to the Pats had kind of gone dead for a couple months, and all of a sudden, just Sunday night, boom, he signed. So, Doug, let me toss over to you. What are your thoughts on, like I said, this splash that Bill Belichick has made as Cam Newton now, and the newest addition to the New England Patriots?
Well, when I saw the news, I think I fainted a little. No, I really didn't. I'm just kidding. When I saw the news, I was a bit surprised. Just because, this whole talk about, how Stidham was going to be the number one guy. He'd been under Brady for a little while, and Bill believes in him, air quotes. And so my thought process was, that's right, in Bill we trust. My thought process was, wait a minute. What is Bill doing? So I sat down for a minute, maybe 30 seconds, minute and a half, I'm not sure. Sat down tonight and I thought, what is Bill doing? Why is he doing? Wait a minute, hold on. Nobody's picked this guy up. This guy was an MVP. He's been a very good quarterback in the league. Veteran guy. He's 6'6", right? Guy's like 6'6", 2 something.
Yeah.
And yeah, maybe 30, 60, 90. I'm not sure how many minutes I sat down. So I'm thinking to myself, well, what is he doing here? Now, does he not, number one, does he not trust Stidham anymore? No, that can't be it. No. Why wouldn't he trust it? I don't know. Number two is it possible he's doing this at the right time? Yes. He's doing it at the right time because nobody else really wanted him. There was one other team that was possibly interested.
The Browns, yeah.
Browns. Right. nobody else was interested because everybody pretty much has their quarterbacks in line, and nobody was really interested. And I guess if you think about it, everybody's got a starting quarterback pretty much. And wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. Is this a low risk kind of thing? Yes. Because if for some reason he sucks wind, which I don't think is going to happen, but it could, it's $1 million. I mean, it sounds like, I'd love to have $1 million. But I'm saying it's yeah, exactly. But he's got incentives that could bring him up to 7.5 million.
Wow.
These are all the incentives, totally incentive laced. It's a low risk, high reward kind of situation. Bill did it at the right time. I don't think he stunned too many people. Maybe he did, but it's low risk. Why not take the risk?
Low risk, potentially high reward.
Yes, potentially high reward, potentially huge reward.
Oh yeah.
So why not? Because you're only risking you're not risking $7 million on the guy. You're risking $1 million.
And honestly, worst comes worst, it's only 1 year. It's only a 1
Correct.
year deal. So
correct. And if Stidham actually wins the job, probably not going to happen. I'm going to predict that right up front. Probably not going to do that. First of all,
it's going to push him, though. I mean,
that's the first thing.
It's going to light a fire under Jared Stidham's ass.
Yes, exactly. But the second thing is that as Jared Stidham gets another year under a really, really good quarterback, and he can learn from him too.
True. Yeah.
So that's the other reward is that he does really well. Now there was some talk about, how many games are they going to win? I thought they may win with Stidham. I thought they may win 6. I was very conservative with 6. But you know what this does? This brings them up to 10 wins into the playoffs.
Yeah.
If he plays well. Now the only concern I have, and I'm sure you'll agree with me, is the fact that he has been injured.
True.
And he's known to be injured. And
he seemed to be his physical. He didn't pass his physical. So I mean, but again,
he did pass it, or he didn't pass it.
No, he did pass it.
Oh, he did because he signed. Right.
Yeah, he did. He did. Yeah, he did pass it. It's a great question. It's a great question because obviously, you're right. He has been banged up especially over the last couple of years.
Yep.
So you really. If he could stay healthy and play up to his potential, I mean, like I said, he's a former MVP winning quarterback here, but it really is a question of him staying healthy, for sure.
Yeah, and the other part of it, Robbie, is the fact that there was a little bit of a Super Bowl incident that happened. And this, am I keeping you up, brother?
All right, yeah.
Dude, you gotta shut up your screen. What are you gonna do that? Okay, so geez, he's already bored, and we have only spent not even 20 minutes on this. Robbie just said it's nap time. Robbie's gonna shut up his screen and go to sleep a little while. So the other issue that I see is, great. The other issue that I see is the fact that there was an incident that happened in the Super Bowl, and the Super Bowl was the fact that there was a fumble and he didn't go get it.
No.
That's the kind of thing.
He dove away from it.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing you kind of risk your body for because it's the damn Super Bowl. So it doesn't matter whether
But it was a few years ago, so you think maybe
it was. But I think
from his mistake.
Yes, but I think what they're talking about, what some people are talking about, is the fact that maybe he has that. I'm really not I'm gonna play a little soft, and we don't need him to play that. We need him to be the Cam Newton and I know he's not gonna be like, when he first started. He's not gonna be. I don't know if he's going to have an MVP year, although there are people that are predicting he's going to have an MVP year. There was even a report today. I'm not sure who did it. I'm looking it up now. There was even a report today that he was actually going to do better than Tom Brady. I'm like, what? Okay, that's possible. Cam just turned 31. Kind of better than 42. But it is what it is. If he has spots of what he was before, everybody's going to have.
Look out. Look out.
Yeah, look out. It's going to be a great year.
Oh, yeah.
If he doesn't if he's got, if he's got that lacking kind of situation, and it might take him a little bit to get up because he just got over an injury, so I totally get it. But he seems really excited about being here, and that could be the catalyst. Yeah, he wears crazy hats and crazy clothes, and we'll talk about that, and the sunglasses and all kinds of crazy stuff.
His press conferences are
press conference is going to be awesome.
Interesting.
They're going to be awesome. They're going to be great. So I don't have a problem with that at all. I don't really care. I just care that he goes out in the field and he gives 150,000%, and I can care less about anything else. And that's what I think all of us as New England sports fans, as Boston fans, that's what we care about.
Oh,
we don't care. We don't care what hat he wears. We can give craps. Who cares? I don't care what he wears.
We care that you win. We care that you win the game.
That's correct. That's what we want. We want to see.
If you win, you can wear whatever the hell you want, as far as I'm concerned.
Don't care.
Yeah. So,
but do I think this is a good? Do I think this is a good pickup?
Yeah.
First of all, it gives us something to talk about. Because how will we talk about Jared Stidham? I mean, he played for like 2 minutes, and in those 2 minutes,
he threw a pick six.
He threw a pick six. So I'm like, okay, great. I mean, why are we talking about this right now? So yeah, this gives us something to talk about until the season, and again, it's low risk. And I like that. And Bill's done this before with other players. Think about the other players he's done this with.
Randy Moss comes to mind.
Hainsworth, another one.
I mean,
he didn't make it, but he played a little bit.
Ochocinco, even some of the guys he brought in that cut, like the Reggie Waynes, Deckers, all, I mean.
I think he brought in Corey Dillon too. Did he bring him?
Oh yeah, Corey Dillon. Bennett,
Yep. These are guys that he brings in on low risk, possible high reward kinds of situations. This is pure Belichick right here.
Oh,
and I don't care what anybody says. This is absolutely pure Belichick.
Absolutely, without a doubt. I like I said, I love the pickup. And listen, I truly hope that Newton could come in here and really keep us going to the level of success that we are accustomed to. Because if he, like I said, if he played, I will say this, is that having a Cam Newton definitely opens things up. In terms of sort of more. He's definitely more dynamic than certain other quarterbacks that we used to have that were number 12. He definitely can. He can throw the ball, obviously, but he can also tuck it away and run it pretty damn well.
But when Brady came in after Duke got hurt, people didn't know who Brady was. So it's not under the realm of possibility that Stidham could be the quarterback.
Oh yeah, true. Oh, absolutely.
But,
I'm not saying
he may not. So who's the odd man out? They have 5 quarterbacks now.
I think, and I've been kind of, they've been talking about this on the radio. I think that there's a good chance that they keep 3: Hoyer, Newton, and Stidham. I think
they're going to allow for 3. I think they're going to allow for 3, and they may even boost up the roster, because I know it's only supposed to be 3 men, but they might boost up the roster just because of COVID. Because what happens if somebody comes down with it and then you don't have a backup, so you need to keep at least 2 other guys.
Right.
So they may be able to keep both, so that's fine. But I think in the long run, if they're not able to do that, I think Hoyer's out. That's just my personal opinion.
I know. I agree. I agree completely. I
I
think
think he's out.
if you're looking for, if you only could keep two, I think Hoyer's the odd man out without a doubt.
No, that's just
So
my thought. I don't think
yeah,
they're
no,
going to do that. I'm just thinking that's
no, no, no. I know.
Yeah.
I'm in complete agreement. I think you and I are both going to be in agreement. And I want us, to sort of both go on record here, as terrifying as that might be. Who do you think, come week one of the 2020 NFL season, will be the starting quarterback for the New England Patriots?
Robbie Johnson.
Oh, really? Man, I was going to say you, Doug Ziman.
Oh, yeah, me. It's going to be me. It's going to be me. Bill called yesterday and, just talked a little bit. The Cam Newton thing's kind of overshadows. I'm like a secret weapon, so it just overshadows everything. And he's gonna do. The Cam thing was just one of those hidden things that he's gonna do, and then I'm gonna slip right in.
I'd like to see.
What? Well, you don't think I could do it, Robbie?
You could probably do it better than I could, so that's for sure.
I'm just kidding. Yes, I am. It's my opinion is that, and I know they're all gonna, they're all going out to get the starting job. I don't think that's. I think it's gonna be.
Yeah. I think
that's why Bill brought him in the first place.
Yeah.
I mean, you could always say to the kid, hey, watch what he does.
Yeah.
Watch what he does. Another superstar. Watch what he does. Great quarterback. Watch what he does. Figure out what he's doing. Just give Stidham a little bit more time.
No, I agree. I mean, obviously we obviously will wait and see what happens in training camp, which I think is going to be much, much more interesting, given the fact that Cam Newton is now a part of this team, as opposed to how it was looking just, like I said, 48 hours ago. But yeah, I think if Newton comes in and goes through camp, even remotely solid like he's capable of, I think there's no doubt that he will be the starting quarterback come week one. Could be something could happen, could be wrong, obviously, but I agree that that I think it'll be Cam's job when the
this also Robbie gives him a chance to be an elite quarterback.
Yeah, give a chance to prove the haters wrong, prove the doubters.
That's correct, because he says to Carolina let him go.
Yeah,
and
they
Carolina
said he
saying,
requested a trade.
Yeah,
and he's saying like no, they wanted him gone.
That's correct. So this is a chance for him to get in with a formidable team. You have one of the best coaches, or the best coach in the all the NFL. And I say that because of record. There's some people out there that are not Patriots fans, and that's fine. And you study under Bill, and let's just hope that he understands that Bill's going to be on him. If he doesn't do something the right way, he's going to be on him like he was on Brady. So, I'm hoping that he takes that to heart, and he's not this fragile guy that walks around and mopes around and gets upset when somebody's upset with him. But we'll have to see how that, plays out.
Right. No, absolutely. I mean, you hope that the Cam that shows up is not post Super Bowl 50 Cam, essentially, is what
Correct.
it is. So,
Correct.
But again, it's sort of a wait and see there. I mean, you don't know what you're going to get per se, and you just wait and see and hope that it's something to your liking, for sure. So we'll sort of have to wait and see. I think sort of that sort of brings us in terms of expectations for the Patriots. I think we kind of touched on this a little bit at the beginning of the segment. Sort of, does this news impact our expectations for the Patriots season? I would say resoundingly yes. I would say that they went from maybe at very best 500 football team. Maybe, with the fact that the AFC East can kind of be down a lot of the times, maybe squeaking in that way to potentially, like you said, Doug, 10, 11, win football team at least, who has a very good shot of winning the division and making it to another playoff berth in 2020.
Absolutely. I really do agree with that. I just think that, it's a tremendous opportunity for him, but it's also, I just think that changes the landscape. As soon as he comes in and as long as he, gets down and dirty and works hard, he's got something to prove here. And I happen to think that, again, I think with Stidham, we were at maybe 5 or 6 wins. This gives us, I would say, between 3 and 5 more wins, I believe. Gives us to at least a 10-win season with him. And as long as, of course, he stays healthy and he's doing what he needs to do and he looks good and that kind of thing, and he wins the job, which I think he's going to anyway. But that's kind of what I think, is that it really brings us to a totally different level.
Right. And I agree completely. I mean, and again, the camp hasn't started yet. A lot to be proven. A lot to be proven.
Throwing stuff out. Yeah.
No, exactly. But I think it definitely makes things a lot more exciting to watch as we head into that time period and into the season, and definitely, like you said, gives us some stuff to talk about on the Sports Blitz, for sure. And so the last bit of Patriots news that I did want to touch on here, and it also came out within the last day or two, that the NFL handed down its punishment on the Patriots for the incident that occurred during the Browns-Bengals game, with the Patriots videotaping and them being accused of videotaping we were robbed. Yes, so the Patriots were fined over $1 million.
1.1.
1.1. Yeah, they were stripped of a third-round pick in the 2021
draft.
Strippers?
No. Never mind. Go ahead.
No.
Never mind. That's a totally different case. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No.
Totally different case. That had to do with somebody else on the Patriots, but we won't talk about
that. Oh, boy. Anyway. So they were docked a third-round pick in 2021, and then they also apparently the Kraft Sports Group will not be allowed to film any games this season. And I guess some employees are going to have to undergo, sort of like training for, I don't know, who gives a bleep. But I mean, it could have been a lot worse. So I mean, honestly, all things considered, I don't think it's.
Robbie, can I just ask you a question? Can I just ask you a question?
Yes, of course.
Okay, what is Bill supposed to do? Is Bill Belichick supposed to go to every one of these freaking things and watch and make sure that these idiots follow the rules?
No, I don't think it was anybody conclude that it was Belichick's fault that this happened.
We had nothing to do with the team at all. It was a production that was being made for the TV company.
But I said this at the time. It gives the haters and the pets, conspiracy theorists, or whatever you want to call it, gives them ammunition.
I know.
So. No, I just, like I said, I didn't want to spend too much time on it, but the NFL did sort of hand down their punishment. Really, it's not really going to affect anything that goes on the field this season. So I don't really think it's.
Oh, by the way, want to hear about this, Robin?
Sure. Okay.
So this is what I heard today. I heard today that So they took a third rounder, right, from us.
Correct.
Third rounder.
Correct.
And Bill loves that round. Bill gets a lot of guys in that round. He loves that round, like 3 from 6. He loves that. First, no, get it. We don't want any elite players.
We never pick in the first round.
No, that's the reason. We don't want elite players. We want to make players that aren't elite. Right. So that's, I guess, I don't know. I haven't talked to them. I'm talking to them hopefully next week.
You ever picked up the hotline and?
Yeah. No, I don't pick up the red phone that often, so I try not to because Batman is on that phone.
If you're talking to him, you should get him on the show. I mean,
I will try to get him on the show. He's going to be extremely boring because he's not going to answer any of the questions. So, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So they gave up. They didn't give up. They were stripped of their third round pick. Now, if for some reason
there you go. It's stripped
Cam, if for some reason Cam Newton doesn't work out, guess what we get?
What?
A third round pick. Yeah.
Wow.
So why does it doesn't really matter? It's all good. It is what it is. I just think it's funny. I just think we got I think we got a I think we got a tremendous punishment for a $50 crime. But that's just me. I understand why it is. I get it because we've done it before. We're doing it again, and I get it. I totally get it. But I just
doesn't that always seem to be the thing? Is like these last few incidents that we've had seem, on the surface to be like kind of these small things, and we just get hit with the hammer.
Yeah, because we've done it before. Because this is, if we haven't done it before, it probably wouldn't have been so bad. But who knows?
True.
It's very strange, but.
Well, yeah, like I said, I just wanted to touch on that briefly because it was in the news. But now to move on to some more happy exciting topics. Some more other news that came out in the last couple of days as we move on to a team.
I want to say. Oh, hold on. I'm sorry, Robbie. I had to interrupt you. Do you notice that we're taking a lot of players? They had a guy, Sports Radio today had a guy on from a Charlotte radio station, and he said the last thing he said was
Kemba
and then Cam. He said, "Can you stop taking our players, please?"
And now the Bruins just have to take a hurricane.
Yeah, well, whatever. I just think we're just seem to be focused on Charlotte. I don't really know why. That's all right. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I just had to bring that up.
It's actually kind of a perfect segue because you mentioned the Celtics, and that is the next team that I wanted to bring up as the Boston Celtics, who supposedly, according to news coming out the last couple of days, are exactly a month away from reopening their 2019-2020 regular season. That's right, folks. On Friday night, the NBA announced its restart schedule, announcing the final 8 games of the 2019-20 regular season, leading into hopefully, into the postseason. Again, all the games are going to be played at the Wide World of Sports Complex in Orlando, Florida. I'm trying really hard to stay away from the elephant in the room, which is he's over there.
Excuse me, did you just call me an elephant? Because that's not nice.
I pointed that way. What are you doing?
Oh, okay. I'm just checking.
Yeah, but I'm trying really hard to stay away from the COVID in the room. Yeah, what room? Exactly. The fact, that I'm really not going to bring up the fact that Florida, it's had a major spike in cases, and it's all good. Everything's okay. Everything's gonna be all right. NBA is gonna come back in a month. It's all gonna be good. Anyway, that being said,
out of your mind. Go ahead.
I am out of my mind. I am out of my mind.
Robbie has to call back to this cave.
Being in this room for the last 3 months has rendered me mindless.
Surprised you're not on the desk, standing on the desk and waving your arms up and down.
Yeah, I'm just
don't care.
Be like this, just looking for things that aren't there and all that.
No idea where the camera is, do you?
No. Hello, it's over here. What?
Over there, dude.
Okay,
follow the light, dude. Follow the light.
I don't want to follow the light. Following the light never helps.
Follow the light is not a good thing.
But anyway,
yeah.
So what's the NBA? Yeah. They released. I just wanted to quickly sort of go through the before we get into it in depth. Sort of the Celtics' last 8 opponents. They're going to be opening up Friday, July 31st. Against the good old Milwaukee Bucks. And the nice thing about this schedule, I will say, is that they play at least every other day. So they play July 31st against the Bucks, Sunday, August 2nd against Portland, Tuesday, August 4th against Miami, then the second of a back-to-back, Wednesday the 5th against Brooklyn, Friday the 7th, Toronto.
Brooklyn!
Exactly, whatever that was. Sunday, August 9th against Orlando, Tuesday the 11th against Memphis, and then closing out the regular season Thursday, August 13th against the Washington Wizards. So, yeah, I mean, when you look at that schedule, definitely a couple of teams obviously stand out. Milwaukee and Toronto being the 2 teams that I really, I look at the schedule, really see as being a challenge, obviously, given what had happened up until the NBA suspended its season. That being said, when you look at this, again, you don't know how teams are going to come back, after the long layoff and whatnot, but I think my early projection is that I could see this team at the minimum winning 6 of the 8 games. And I think they could definitely be competitive. I mean, I think they'll be right there with Toronto and Milwaukee as well. But I definitely could see them winning 6 of 8, which I think would put them in a really good spot in terms of playoff seeding wise. But yeah, it's exciting. The prospect again. I know it's still a month away, but the prospect of finally getting basketball back on our TVs coming up here is something to be hopeful for. So, Doug, let me ask you, and what is your reaction to this schedule, and sort of when you look at these last 8 games, what thoughts go through your mind?
Well, first, Robbie, I think it's important to slow your roll. I am, first of all, excited about an upcoming possible season. The reason I say possible
you're right.
is the reason why you're still in that room and have been in that room for 3 months. So, and the reason I say is because there are some reports out yesterday and today. Yesterday, it says DeAndre Jordan has COVID.
That's right.
Spencer Dinwiddie has COVID. He plays for the Nets. That's another net player, DeAndre Jordan, who also has it. 3 Pelican players have COVID-19 and are now isolated. And it looks like there's a whole bunch of players that are deciding whether they're going to play or not, and there are a whole bunch of players that are not going to play.
True.
So nobody on the Celtics that I've heard of, nobody on the Celtics that we know of. Right. There are other teams. Damian Lillard doesn't want to play because he only wants to play if he thinks he's going to be in the playoffs, and he's all nervous about the COVID. But it's one of those things where I'm a little suspect. I want the season to resume. I don't mind the 8 games. I don't mind the schedule. I'm at that point where I just want to see basketball, so I don't really care. I don't care if they play Milwaukee 8 times. I just want to see in a row. 24 hours a day on that cycle. I just want to see some sports on, and
44 hours of Celtics Bucks.
That's right. Celtics Bucks, 24 hours a day. They just don't stop. They just keep going for 8 games. But I don't really care. I don't care as much about that as looking at what's happening, looking at the spiking of the COVID happening, unfortunately, in Florida. Looking at the fact that the governor may have opened up, not like us. Just, there you go, people. The beaches are open. Go nutty. I'm just a little bit. Well, maybe it's more like this.
No, you're right.
A little bit suspect of the fact. I don't want to get excited about it until I know that all the players that are going to play are down there. They're in a bubble, and they're starting out with their game.
Right. No, it's true. It's true.
Other than that, I have a real hard time believing that that's going to happen.
Right. Still, I don't blame you whatsoever. I mean, it's still
not that I don't want it to happen.
Like with everything, it's still up in the air.
Yeah.
There's nothing in this sort of day and age right now. Nothing is definite. You're absolutely right, and while we can talk about the schedule coming out and sort of project how it's going to go. You're right. It very well could be that we get to be a month from now and there's still no basketball. You just don't know. So now that being said, let's just put on our hypotheticals here. If a month from now comes, and we are playing basketball in Florida, and the Celtics are playing this 8-game schedule that has been released. What are your thoughts when you look at this?
I agree with your assessment about. I think we could probably win 6 out of those 8. I think there's a couple games that may be a little difficult. I think. I don't know. Even if they start practicing and stuff like that, I still think they're going to be. It's going to be a couple of things that I think are going to be factors. One is I don't think, they were playing a season and all of a sudden they stopped. Wait, let's do it again. They just stopped the season. I don't think even if they go into like a training for a couple of weeks, even if they're supposed to report now and it's for a month, I still think they're going to be rusty. I think the whole thing is going to be rusty. And I also think, with the protocols, I still think people are going to be nervous about even being in the bubble. I just think people are going to just be nervous about it, just because they know it's outside the bubble and it could come in. And I think they're still going to be nervous about, whether they touch another person on defense or whether they foul somebody or that kind of thing. I think things are still going to be weird. So that's just my opinion.
Yeah, no,
but other than that, yeah, I mean, but other than that, I think the Celtics are definitely in that realm of 6 to 8 wins out of that, and then we'll see about playoff seeding and that kind of thing after that. But I think I don't have a problem with it. I'm just a little bit weary, I guess you could say, about the fact that I'm just weary of it. Until I see them practicing on a court or playing a game for the first time, I guess I just don't believe it yet. So
No, you're right. You're right, and it's tough to. You're right. It's tough to get too much into when you know sort of what's going on outside and all that stuff. So,
Yeah.
like I said, I just want to get sort of some. I just want to get, again, and we can, as it gets closer and depending on what happens, we can sort of get more into it. But I just, with the schedule coming out, I just kind of wanted to sort of take the
Oh,
temperature of the
definitely.
room, so to speak, to sort of see,
Really?
if yes, uh,
Really?
it was
Seriously, Robbie?
98.5.
Seriously, you're going to take the temperature of the room? Really? I mean, really?
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. That's fine. it's like a COVID thing. Take the temperature of the room. That was good. I like that. Awesome.
yeah, it wasn't what I meant, but
No, I
whatever.
know what isn't what you meant, but it's kind of matches. So
Yeah, no, I know. I know. By the way, the temperature of this room is 98.5. No, I'm just kidding.
is that the sports hub?
Yeah. Again, also completely unintentional. Hold on, 98.5. There we go. It's documented.
Thank you.
So, another, again, yeah, exactly, the sports hub. Again, we talk about this, but we talk about it with very cautious tones.
Optimism. Cautious optimism.
Cautious optimism, yeah. I mean, I like that. I just didn't know how you felt about using that word optimism. Uh,
Why?
I don't
I'm,
know.
I'm just cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, so am I.
Still optimistic. I
So
mean, I
am
want it
I.
to happen. I want all of it to happen. I just want to see something other than NASCAR and horse racing and Donkey Kong.
Hey, I've actually been watching. I've been watching soccer, I mean that's how desperate I got. I've been watching Champions League and women's soccer over the last few weeks because
Excellent.
that's
And the
finally come.
Korean baseball at 4 a.m. has been wonderful.
Yeah, totally. Those 5:25 a.m. broadcasts. Or
Gosh.
speaking of baseball, the good old Boston Red Sox are reporting this week.
Boston Red Sox.
I know I saw on Twitter Michael Chavis documented his path from his home to up here in Massachusetts to sort of get ready for spring training 2.0, which is starting up again within. It's really starting up like within the next day or two over at Fenway Park. Again, I'm cautiously excited about it. I don't know what's going to happen. Like with basketball, I don't know if there's actually going to be opening day on July 23rd or 24th, like they've been saying. Who the hell knows at this point? I know when I brought it up last time, in the last episode, Doug laughed at me. So I guess I kind of know where he
I
stands
did.
on this. Yes, you laughed at me like I was a crazy person for being excited that baseball announced they were coming back. But that's okay. So again, let's sort of put our hypothetical hats on here, our cautiously optimistic hats on. That's a Bruins hat, and sort of give our thoughts if there is a 60-game MLB season, which has been approved. Again, it would be 40 games against divisional opponents, and then 20 games against the NL East for the Red Sox. So, definitely an interesting dynamic this season. Again, looking at from a hypothetical, cautiously optimistic point of view, Doug. What are your thoughts on this proposed and at this moment approved MLB restart schedule?
What? No. I think I don't know. I guess I'm still cautiously optimistic, but again, with Lou Maloney said today he doesn't want baseball in Boston at all. because there are people that are coming up from different places, and he doesn't want to hear because we're just opening up slowly and we're just getting things going, and we don't want to lose that. And we have two very, very, very cautious people in our state, the governor and the mayor, who are incredibly cautious, which is not a bad thing.
Oh.
But it's one of those things where
better than other states. I'll tell you.
yeah,
that much.
definitely better than other states. But as we're moving forward, having the people coming up and doing a mini spring training and stuff like that, it's just it gets kind of hairy. But I don't know. I guess I feel the same way as basketball and every other sport. Hockey too.
It's tough. It's very tough to
think about it.
Fully invested and fully excited, and when you just know that it can be sort of pulled. The plug can be pulled so quickly.
Yeah, we haven't even started baseball really yet. Anyway, I mean,
spring training, but
spring training. But other than that, we didn't really do anything. So I'm still a little just trying to figure out, whether, with basketball, it's different. We already had started the season.
Yeah, they're already a good portion of the way through the season.
That's correct. So knowing how they play and knowing how they, kind of do things is kind of there to even make a decision on how the Red Sox would be. I can't even. I'm not even there yet. I mean, they have Red Sox announced their 47 players summer camp roster. I mean, I'm not there yet. I just have to get into it, and then once they say, okay, yeah, we're playing and it's going and we're doing this and COVID's gone, which is not going to happen. But I'm saying that if
not by a long shot.
No, not even close. So it's one of those things where I'm waiting for it to start so I can start making, better judgments on it. The sports stations are not really getting into those things.
True.
Because they just don't know whether it's going to happen or not. So they're not talking about who's going to be the opening day starter necessarily, but they're not talking about who the starters are for the Red Sox. They're really not talking about that too much right now. They're just talking about the protocols and how it's going to start. And Lou today said that he was like, "Oh, I don't want it in Boston because then Boston might spike." And it's just one of those things where I'm hoping that it just starts so we can really delve into it a little bit more than just talking about the protocols.
Yeah, and it's funny because the other thing that I had listed was was hockey and the Bruins and sort of when is that going to actually start? And again, we don't know. We honestly,
we have no idea. But they're also talking about the new rules. They're talking about the National League using the DH.
Yeah.
Talking about when you start the 10th inning, there's a guy on second base. Those kinds. I know. Hey, listen, Robbie. Robbie, I think I just killed Robbie. I think I just. He's walking out. Okay, guys. Well, I guess it's gonna be my show from now on. I think I just killed Robbie. I think I just killed Robbie. I'm not really sure. He just walked away.
I understand, for the shortened season why they're doing it. I can't stand it. I can't stand it.
Hey, Robbie,
it's not baseball.
Are you a baseball purist?
I am 100%. It's not baseball. That's like saying oh, it's overtime in football. Oh, we're gonna put you first and goal at the 5-yard line, at the 10-yard line for overtime. Oh wait, that's how they do it in high school. Crap. But still,
I totally get it. And you know what? We're gonna have an episode coming up that's all about sports purism and
But didn't we
what
do
our
one of
thoughts
those
are.
already?
We might have
I think we did
episodes
one back in the day. Back in the day.
back in the day when we were actually getting together for these.
Yeah. Back in the day when we actually were doing this in person. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we did. But that's okay.
We could
should
do another one. Yeah.
I could see Robbie walking out of the room a couple times.
I just it's.
So that's really what they're talking about right now.
I like the universal DH. I like the universal DH, but I cannot stand that runner at second rule.
I know. I couldn't tell that at all.
But
yeah,
okay.
we just don't really know when these are going to happen, and if they do happen, that's great, and then we'll start delving in. But now it's all about protocols and they also said that in baseball, Major League Baseball is not going to announce anybody that has COVID. You're going to have to make up your own mind as a fan. If somebody's out with an ankle injury, it might not be an ankle injury. It might be COVID. They're not going to announce anything.
First of all, I didn't hear that. I don't know how I feel about that. But first of all,
yeah, it just came out late this afternoon.
But my thing is this. I mean, you can't tell me that stuff's not going to be leaked out somehow.
It certainly is. First of all, it certainly is.
And that's not. They can officially not announce it all they want, but that stuff's going to get leaked out.
Not only is it going to get leaked out, Robbie, but everybody's going to think that have an ankle injury, he's fine. So they're just going to.
Nobody's going to trust. Nobody's going to trust unless they see the injury like on the field for themselves. Right. Like they're not going to trust if a guy gets scratched last minute for hamstring, or in hockey if they put an upper body or lower body injury. Nobody's going to trust that. Trust them at all. No.
Nobody's going to believe it. I agree with that. It's just I understand why they're doing it, but I don't trust that it's going to get leaked out. Somebody's going to leak it, or you're just going to say, oh yeah, he's got COVID.
Yeah. Again, remains to be seen. We kind of. We're obviously as it gets sort of further and further along, we'll obviously, get more and more into, what could be or what is going to be or whatnot. But I mean, I think obviously tonight, the big thing was obviously the Patriots Cam Newton signing. And so, I mean, that is definite. In this world of unknown, that is definite, He has signed with the Patriots, and he will be on the roster for the 2020 season, wherever the hell that may start. They're saying it's going to start on time, but again, who knows these days? It really is true, unfortunately. So what I want to do now is I want to kind of transition us into the sort of end segment of our show, which we always do and love, and that is our final thoughts for episode 45. And so, Doug, I would like to offer to you, since you let me kick off last week's final thoughts, what are your final thoughts for episode number 45?
There's a couple of thoughts, and you may not like them. There are a couple.
Okay. I'll brace myself.
It's not that you won't like them. It's just they're actually baseball related, so hopefully they're not yours. But it's okay. So the first one would be that Ron Renicky is actually very excited about getting baseball back, but he's also very nervous about he likes the protocol.
He was at Fenway the other day. I saw a picture of him the other day.
He was, but he is outspoken about nervousness about COVID and the COVID.
I don't blame him.
Nervous about COVID. Yeah, COVID. Nervous about the virus and nervous about he's not a youngster, so it
True.
makes sense that he's nervous about it. So it makes sense. The second thing that is baseball related is, and we found out today, unfortunately, they have officially canceled what, Robbie?
The minor league season.
Minor league
I
season.
mean,
That's
everybody
right.
saw that coming, pretty
Yeah,
much.
well, yeah. I saw it
Let's
coming.
be honest.
I know.
I will say this: there is one of all the minor league organizations in baseball, all the minor league cities in baseball, there is one that I feel the worst for, and that is a little city to our south called Pawtucket, Rhode Island, who I believe, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe
You're wrong.
Okay, thank you. No, I believe this. I believe would have been the last season for the Paw Sox in Pawtucket.
I think so. Yeah.
Before they make their move to Worcester, so just the fact, I think I feel the worst for them because the fact that they don't sort of get that final season in McCoy Stadium is moving on up to Worcester. So the Woo Sox, but I think I think if I feel bad for anybody in that, woo-hoo, yes, woo-hoo. Woo!
That's not what I wrote. It's woo-hoo. That's what I wrote.
The Woo Sox.
I know. I know what you're talking about, Robbie. I'm just saying that's what I wrote. I wrote woo-hoo.
Sure. I don't know. I think that joke whatever that was just went right over my head. So.
It's all right. It's all good.
Yeah. So if I feel bad for anybody, it's them because they didn't get their show last season. But I could kind of see that coming.
So I have one last thing, and it's not sports related at all. A icon passed away today.
Yeah.
And it's an icon of not necessarily my era, but it wasn't my era at all, but his son is in my era. And he's an actor, producer, and director. Reiner passed away today. Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, absolutely. I just wanted to say that because
comedian too.
Comedian, just amazing and just a great guy. And obviously, our thoughts and prayers go out to his family.
That's right.
And what's great is, I guess not great, but what's good is that he actually died of natural causes and died very peacefully with his family surrounding him, which is great. And not great that he passed, but great that he was surrounded by his family. And I just wanted to mention that because it was something that I saw this morning, and I said, "Hey, great final thought. Not great, but a final thought." So, Robbie, what are your final thoughts for this evening?
I mean, definitely to your point, rest in peace to Carl Reiner. Thoughts and prayers to his family. But there is, at least for today, there is a glimmer of light in this ongoing darkness that is the COVID-19 battle. For the first time since March, the state of Massachusetts reported 0 new COVID-19 deaths today, which I think is, again, it's one day. There's still a long road ahead of us, but to see where we've been and to see, just the long road ahead, to have at least one day where 0 new deaths, it really goes to show that the cautious approach that our state has been taking and sort of the things we've been doing to try to slow the spread have been working. folks. It is working, and it may be frustrating. It may be exhausting.
Just watching you in your room going, it may be frustrating. It may be exhausting. I can't stand this room anymore.
No, but in all seriousness, like what we're doing as a state is working. And I think that it's really a testament to the people of Massachusetts and just how
Boston strong.
Right, Massachusetts, but we can be very selfless when we need to be. And I know that there are, people out there that, obviously aren't being selfless, but I think the overwhelming majority of people in the state have, sort of bought into the idea of, doing things like wearing a mask and social distancing and stuff like that, which is why
Robbie in his room.
Yeah, which is why Doug and I, for the last 3 months, have been talking to the screen. Doug in his room, and Doug under his rock.
Really? Okay, really.
Doug's going. That's right, Doug. We'll put you in a nice white padded room. There you go.
But I like white.
But no, I saw that.
Padded too.
I saw that today, and it just it was a good feeling to, at least for one day, to see, like I said, no new reported deaths. So I just hope that we can. I just hope that we can keep going strong and try to really battle this together, and we will get through this. But
we really can't do it together if we're
You done?
Um,
But like I said, I just wanted to say that it was good news to hear today on that front, and again, I continue to hope that everybody is staying safe and staying healthy out there, and we will get through this.
Robbie might not. We have nobody else.
What?
I said Robbie might not, but everybody else will.
I'm not. I'm slowly on my way
the furniture during the day.
Slowly on my way out. Yeah.
If he sleeps under his desk now.
Right. Exactly.
Send him thoughts and prayers.
But all right. So.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. Like I said, just wanted to sort of throw that bit of positivity out there, because that was really good news today. So, anyway, that's going to wrap it up for episode number 45 of the Sports Blitz. Looking forward already to episode number 46. We'll sort of be talking, Doug and I, about what particular lovely subjects we want to bring up during episode 46. No idea at all. No, nothing. But anyway, so for Doug, I'm Robbie.
Did you forget my name?
No, I didn't forget your name.
Did you forget my name, man?
I did not.
Wait a minute. His name is what again? William Bill.
Anyway, for Doug, I'm Robbie, signing off here on it. You're good. You're unmuted.
Sorry.
Signing off for episode 46 of the Sports 45.
You don't even know that. Oh wow, Robbie!
It's not bad. It's really bad, folks. I don't know the numbers. I almost called.
Great. This is great. We were rocks at the beginning, middle, and end, and this is perfect. This is great. We
have to go off the rails at least one time during the show.
Absolutely, definitely. So we have some great shows coming up.
Yeah.
We have some plans about having some more guests, more Rivers talk, more sports, hopefully more sports talk. And just remember, if you have any show ideas, please send it our way. We're on comment. Comment. We're on all the social media. I don't even know what we're on. We're on Facebook.
We're on
Facebook,
Facebook,
SoundCloud.
yeah.
The Facebook, the SoundCloud, the YouTube,
the Twitter,
the Twitter. So we're on all those,
yes.
And just send us some ideas. Not that we don't have ideas, but it's always good to hear ideas from other people.
No,
we don't have any.
None.
We don't have any.
So for Doug, I'm Robbie, signing off for episode 45 of the Sports Blitz. Thanks as always for tuning in, everybody, watching, listening. Stay safe. Stay healthy.
Have a good week and a great 4th of July.
Yeah, have a happy Independence Day.
Independence Day.
Yeah.
4th of July, man. We're in Boston.
Anyway.
We're in Boston.
Anyway, we'll see you next time on the Sports Blitz. Bye, everybody.